Blackarachnia, terrorize!
T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. The people that follow me outside of YouTube already knew I got more than one bug this week. Transformers masterpiece MP-46 Black Widow, but we know she's Blackarachnia in the US. Takara Tomy threw us a bone by giving us American voice clips on MP-44, and I guess they should have for how much it cost, and I didn't realize that was there. I never looked at the back of this. But I wish they would put the names of Beast Wars characters. Beast Wars is pretty much a US import to Japan. Actually, the original Transformers was. Like, throw us some more bones, especially if Hasbro aren't going to do their own releases. So we have to pay expensive prices for them. Thank you, Takara Tomy. Here's Blackarachnia, and she comes with a rack of accessories. The biggest one is this web right here that she's suspended on. And this string right here seemed really long until I started wrapping it around too hard, then it didn't. Anywho, they give you a display base piece that I don't know if it's smaller than the one that came with Dinobot. It might be the same size. I feel like it's smaller. I can't remember. It's been so long since I handled that. But basically, this is the regular Autobot stand that they had first with Trex. They give you this piece that you put onto that, and then another little grippy claw that attaches to Blackarachnia's spear weapon right there, which I knew was going to come off. Here is the spear weapon in greater detail. It has a Predacon logo on there. This is silver. I'm going to complain about that later when I load it into her weapon, but you see they have these peg ports right there that goes into her little claws right there. Very tough to do that because this thing is like, I'm not going to say it feels cheap, but it's made out of the same plastic as all the other Beast Wars Masterpiece figures. It feels like that same type of lightweight plastic that Bandai makes SH Figuarts Dragon Balls figures out of, or at least the more lighter parts of those figures, I should say. Her whole body is basically made out of that. So basically, this thing is like held together by a wing and a prayer in this mode. Moving it, it's almost like you're detaching everything, because when you squeeze on anything, nothing like, only thing tabs together is the arms tab together. This thing tabs up into there. The legs lightly grip that, but everything else is just basically just loose. The web doesn't feel cheap, definitely, but this goes on top of that. You could also flip it the other way after you take this thing out. It grabs onto 2 points on the web. It's either there, or you flip it this way and it's there. You could port this right here if you want and use this as the stand port to go into her in robot mode. But these are basically 4 pieces. It's all identical. They connect right here. You know, before I disconnect it, there are stand ports that you probably won't be able to see, but there's one right here, and there. So you could port this on there without using that little boy part if you wanted to. But these are all connected right here. They tightly grab their pegs on this side and ports on this side. So basically you have to overlap until you get this shape right here. She comes with her collector card that has some interesting shadows on her boobs, tech specs and whatnot. And the thing I had wrapped around Cheetor is basically another one of her little grapple weapons. It has this thing on the end. Basically, you port this into her back right here. Like I was saying, good luck trying to grab her. And now you can suspend her in midair like that. to finally get into Blackarachnia herself. As you can see, she is a Black Widow spider. She has the 9 eyeballs that actually have like eyeballs on them, oddly enough. Mandibles open here on the side. The head can wiggle around and do all the little spider stuff it did on the cartoon. Go up and down a little bit. You know how they used to talk on the show. Now, I had to watch Tauntaun's review and try to understand what he was talking about. Why I was watching his review? Because I was trying to remember how to transform her back into freaking spider mode. The instructions are horrible. They are small, they're drawn. They need to get better. But as you can see, she is not perfect. You can clearly see the legs and feet right there. I wish it's like, just like all the rest of them, you got to look at it. You can't even look at this from a specific angle because those legs are just visible as hell. If there's some way to condense this even more, it won't even matter. But here's the back of it. This is the underbelly again. One thing that, since I didn't review this on day one, thank goodness, I kept messing with it. I figured out that you could rotate this piece right here, because just on the box, they show this at all times like that. So I was like, I don't like that. But if you rotate this up like this, it covers that. You don't see the robot arms so much. So the main thing you have to worry about seeing as far as robot kibble is these legs right there. Each leg is on a ball joint. The ball joints are way looser than I would like. This middle joint is soft ratcheted, very soft ratcheted. But if you pull this down like this and make sure the legs are on here like this, there's a stopping point. The legs can't go beyond that. So if you absolutely wanted her to be suspended off the ground on her own legs, you could do that. And of course, the further you put this down, the better you can be at that. But my biggest problem with this spider mode is everything keeps detaching. Like I said, everything's connected by a wing and a prayer. These disconnect. This little piece right here that's supposed to be tabbed right there keeps disconnecting. This keeps disconnecting. And oh yeah, this is what I learned from watching Tauntaun's review. He had this pushed forward so you can see that that hourglass more when out of box. This is like kind of back and you see the hinges and whatnot a little bit more. I think I showed off everything in spider mode, but at the end of the day, I think the spider is the weakest alternate mode of all the Beast Wars Masterpiece, to be honest to me. It does do more than a lot of the other figures, but I would say it's the weakest because you could just see so much robot stuff. They definitely sacrificed their bug mode for her robot mode. I do not feel like transforming anything, especially these Beast Wars Masterpiece figures. That's about how tall she is. Here she is next to Marvel Legends. So she compacts very well. Transformation, very simple. I figured it out myself basically without even using instructions, which were horrible. They forced me to figure it out. But we can pull this and detach it. There are 2 pegs that peg up into there, right there. Now we can kind of move the knees forward for the robot mode to get that off of there. And go ahead and bring the legs down like this. These panels just shut right there. They rock forward on the hinge and shut right there. Now the feet come down. Feet come down. And there's a little grippy thing right there you can get with your fingernail. Grab that to bring out her heels. The knee does this. The knee does that. Get it completely lined up right there. Now basically the arms just need to detach and friggin' just get out of the way for now. Back here, look how they transformed her. But we can start rotating this back so we can start pushing it over her boobs to get them out of there. Rotate this around, get this out the way, rotate that around. Bring this down, close the mouth or mandibles. Bring this down to about there-ish. Shut this around it. Grab the boobs, kind of lock them into place on that. Squeeze our back in. That might have been a problem. And then the head seemed to have went into place. And some footage I'm editing out, unfortunately, for myself. I couldn't get the head to come into place, but now everything is smooth. Bring this hinge down, bring it up, boom, smash everything on her back. Spin this around, spin this around, get the arms pretty much into place, rotate that, put the legs don't matter. You can fiddle around with them until you get them right, but basically, here she is in her robot mode. She is 6 inches tall. She is definitely Marvel Legends height. I'll let you see. Well, Rescue is big. Let me get a regular character. All right, here is Black Widow from SH Figure Arts, Widowmaker from Figma, and Cara Dune from Black Series. And here's Black Widow with Black Widow. But if she was real, based upon their scale, this is probably actually right, because they were pretty much human sized. The smaller Beast Wars characters were. Primal was probably about freaking 7 feet or something like that, and Megatron was even taller than him. And since I'm on comparisons already, here you go with this. And this right here, this is like when Shaquille O'Neal was dating Hoops.
You're the exact right height, Blackarachnia. Yes.
But yeah, unlike Bumblebee, where there was a ton to complain about as far as the sculpt, there is not anything really to complain about. She is super spot on. This is what her back looked like. It even looked like this part hung over her butt and everything on the cartoon. So this is like the most spot on robot mode. Like most of the Beast Wars robot modes are spot on. It looks like she literally came out of the cartoon. And I think I'll have to mess around with all of them. But she may be the most articulated as well. Zooming in on the details. Yes, she has that weird digital paint that they perfected on this line. These actually are spring-loaded. I mean, that doesn't really help anything. I hope it's spring-loaded because I'm going to break them if they're not. But those squeeze in. I guess it's for transformation, but like I said, it doesn't really help anything. It even still has that same texture look from the cartoon. So, there's the face. Here is the back of the head. If there's anything that I can complain about with her, everything's pretty much painted. She's pretty much painted head to toe. I think even this black part is some kind of paint on there. So that's where the money is going for this figure. These legs are fully painted. Everything pretty much is fully painted on some level. So the problem is the neck. You won't have to see that, but since our neck is on a ball joint, that scrapes. Other complaints. Now, I did complain about these legs. They stay in the position you put them in, but they are definitely way more loose than I would like. And the hips. The hips are definitely loose on my copy. She stands up in whatever pose I put her in, but she is top heavy, so I don't know if that may become a problem over time. Like this plastic right here, which isn't painted, I might have to open her up some type of way if I can. I don't even know if she has any screws. Let me see. I guess I'll have to rub the freaking floor polish in there some type of way. I don't even know how this thing is connected. She doesn't have any screws, I don't think. Which is cool. The only thing that wouldn't be part of like the cartoon look is the fact that she has hinges, but her hinges look way better than Bumblebee's backpack. While we're here on the face, it pulls up off right there at the bottom. Pull it up, and now she has this face right here, which is slightly smirking right there. It's barely any difference with this face. Let me get out of the light. Barely any difference, but you can see she's slightly smirking. In fact, this face was on her the whole time, and I didn't even realize till I looked into the instruction manual. And then she has this face right here. The only time I can remember her eyes being green like this was when she was transferring the data tracks to Megatron in the second season. Or when like maybe Tarantulas was taking over her body or whatever. Speaking of that, she does come with this visor right here, with this cord right here. They actually give you a replacement for this because it pegs into here, I guess just in case you break it. But she used this visor as a way to interface with Tarantulas. Tarantulas was knocked out and she needed his information out of his computers or whatever. But you can wrap that on her head, and now she can interact with Tarantulas, who doesn't even exist yet. The piece I took off of her abdomen, it folds open like this. It's really highly painted. It has those on that side, and this is painted. I don't know if I went into the detail on that. You port that like this, so it's risk that could scrape off over time, because this does. So far, it hasn't. I've put that in there a few times. So far, it hasn't, but there's risk right there. The hand opens up, has that little port right there in between this, and you see the paint rubbed off because I guess they want to put paint on the inside too. But basically, port that into the hand, whichever side you want to do. Wrap her pincher around it, and now she has this gun, and it's cool. However you point the finger thingy or the claw determines which direction she's going to be pointing in. But I like that. Everything is so accurate. I love Beast Wars, and I spent a lot of time rewatching Beast Wars, so seeing this, it doesn't even matter how many years it's been now because I watched it so many times as an adult. Seeing this is like kind of uncanny. And this right here ports into the hand as well, so you can hang that off of something and have her hanging by it. You can also, she has a port in her butt, or her lower back or whatever. Now let's start getting into articulation, but to show you first, these things can rotate like this, so you can point her little legs, rotate them around like this, and you know how her and Tarantulas shot their little machine gun effects out of their legs, so she can do all that. I used to think that was really cool. But let's really get into the articulation now. Her head can look up that far on the ball joint. I'm going to rotate that. with just using the ball joint. It can rotate down that much just using the ball joint. But she has a secondary hinge that can make her look up that much and make her look down that much. And of course, she can do pivots and rotate and all that. Shoulders, they aren't on a butterfly, but you can kind of still get the effect as this goes up here. And she could still, let me use this arm as an example, because this swivels independently of this, sort of like Megatron. You can bring that up and she can still wrap her arm across the body. And you saw that come off. That just goes back in easy. You might want to put some floor polish on that. She has swivel right here, swivel right here, double jointed elbows, and on top of all that, a swivel right there. Hinge there, hinge here. That can go in that much. This only hinges right there, so that can go all the way out. It can come that much in, and then you got this that just hinges in right there. The waist is nuts. She can pivot her waist that much, side to side. She can fully rotate. No, the mandible thing stops her right there. So I'm sitting here lying. And she can come forward. So that is freaking awesome. Legs can kick up that much before it's bouncing into the crotch area. Go all the way out. But there's a secondary hinge system, so you can kick her legs all the way up. I think that's the only reason why she has that, because you don't have to use that for transformation as far as I know. Thigh rotation. Knee bends all the way up on a single joint. Foot can do this. Can go back a little bit. And then this part rotates, which rotates the front and the heel. And the heel can do that. And no, the heel doesn't go down. You have to use that. And of course, these bends. That way though. Well, they go both ways. So she is crazy posable, and I honestly have not touched the surface. Oh yeah, and she does have a stand port under there too. Should have known she would have a stand port under there since Takara Tomy made it. But her posability is nuts. I'm pretty sure she can do anything from the freaking show, which is awesome. I normally would cut while I'm trying to come up with all this, but it's so easy. And of course, she can do the Iron Man. She could do freaking everything. This is one of the most posable Transformers I've ever freaking owned because of the shape of her body. She's almost on the same level as my synthetic human. But final thoughts, the spider mode is a freaking mess. It does what it needs to do. She looks like a spider depending on how you crunch things up. So that's cool. But this robot mode I am super happy with. And the transformation is freaking awesome. All the paint is good. Love it. All the details are spot on with the cartoon. And she was a popular character on there. So yeah, they did really, really good. I have to commend them for this. But that price though, you do, at least unlike with Bumblebee, you get a lot of accessories, and the accessories, I didn't go into them. The accessories don't feel cheap. That spider web feels substantial. That is transparent plastic or translucent plastic, but it feels good. But yeah, I'm happy with it. If you want her, I would say go to Amazon Japan now. Don't wait, because the price will go up. Right now, she is a decent price for the things she comes with. The only way I can justify the price is this came out at like $79, $80. Look, they're the same size, but she comes with way more bigger accessories than Widowmaker does, and she has engineering for articulation and engineering for her beast mode articulation and a transformation. So she's 3 toys in one with a bunch of accessories. That's the only way that I can justify the price that Amazon Japan is charging right now. But whatever the US retail is, which I think is like $140, yeah, you will be happy once you get it, but you will feel like, damn, I paid $140 for this, which I most certainly did not. Thank y'all for watching. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here. I gotta come up with a thumbnail. Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click that shit.